years, I walked beneath branches and whispers. I learned the voice of trees, the silence of ruins, and the breath of things buried deep beneath the earth. But one day, the forest shifted. The birds fell silent too early. Where leaves once danced, only ash remained. My home was burning. My blood turned to smoke on the wind. I couldn't save them, and I was not strong enough to avenge them. But the fire did not consume me. It carved me anew. And now I have learned to burn.
This is Raggi, a good elf with nearly 900 champion points, the product of 400 hours of peaceful wandering through Tamriel. She hunted, explored, and lived simply, never chasing power nor glory. But with the rise of the new subclassing system, everything changed. Raggi began experimenting, shaping new combinations of strength, and exploring Daedric forces. But they noticed. Fearing what she could become, they struck first. Her home, her family, everything she loved burned. Now, alone, Raggi must face Tamriel's deadly forces, without allies, without mercy, but not without purpose. In the ruins of her village, she discovered a fragment of resistance, the Pale Ring Order, and with their legacy, she has a new mission: to understand this world like never before, to become stronger than ever, and to punish the Daedra who tried to silence her. But first, she needs a better build. To survive City of Ash, alone in veteran mode and without dying, Raggi must face 3 trials, each one harder than the last. Each one forging a new piece of the warrior she must become. In Chapter 1, she learns to weave, the true rhythm of combat. She selects her subclass path and begins building a foundation for vengeance. In Chapter 2, her power is reforged. She completes her build, tests it in battle, and begins the quest for the mythic Oak and Soul Ring. Yeah, we are gonna use it because a 1-bar build is way more user-friendly than a 2-bar build, and we are doing solo content for the first time. And in Chapter 3, she prepares for war. Potions, food, champion points, precision, we will finish the build, and then we will enter the fire. Veteran City of Ash. No lies, no mistakes, no deaths. Only victory awaits. Or the void. In the Elder Scrolls Online, your build isn't just a collection of gear and abilities. It's a statement, a reflection of how you choose to fight and survive, in a world that never stops testing you. Every character has 2 skill bars. Your front bar is your main offensive platform, where you place your most used skills, attacks, some healing, or even a crowd control. Your back bar often carries longer duration effects, shields, buffs, or utility skills. Even when you switch bars, many of these remain active, as long as they are properly cast. But ESO skills are more than just icons on a bar. Each class offers 3 distinct skill lines, each with its own identity: offensive, defensive, or super focused. Every lane contains active skills with use slot unused, and just as importantly, passive skills, which enhance your performance behind the scenes. These passives unlock as you level the line, and they active simply by having one skills from the line slotted on your bar. They are quiet but powerful, improving your sustain, damage output, and resistance, even healing and more. For example, a Warden passive might increase your critical damage if you're using Animal Companion's skill line. A Nightblade passive could boost your resource recovering when hidden, it's an assassin, and a Sorcerer might return Magicka when you land critical hits. Some players even slot a skill just to trigger the passives, never casting it at all. And now, with the subclassing system, your build potential grows even deeper. You now choose one primary skill line from your original class, and additional lanes from any other classes in the game. This opens the door to combinations that were impossible before. Healing from the Templar, ranged bursts from Sorcerer, and stamina regeneration from the Warden. Then there's your gear, the physical core of your build. Most advanced players follow the 5-5-2 strategy or the 5-5-1-1. 5-5-2 means using 2 full pieces set that grant major bonuses when all pieces are worn, and a monster set, helmet and shoulder combo earned from dungeons with unique effects. Alternatively, you might see the 5-5-1, 2 full sets, 1 monster piece, and 1 mythic item like the Oakensoul Ring, which simplifies your combat to a single bar while massively boosting your stats. On top of that, we have the champion point systems, your endgame layer of progression. CPs are divided in 3 constellations. Warfare, the blue one, increases your raw power, damage crit and penetration. Fitness, red, improves your survivability, healing, resistance, resource management, etc. And craft, the green one, boosts your utility, movement speed, gathering, cost reductions. Picking the right passives and slotting the ones that match your role is essential. And finally, food. In GSO, food and drinks grant combat buffs, lasting up to 2 hours. High-end players also use food that matches their primary stat. Magicka builds use Magicka or Magicka regen foods. Stamina, the food that regenerates stamina, and tanks prefer the health sustain. Sometimes the difference between a perfect run and a painful wipe comes down to a bowl of stew. In the end, building a character in ESO is an art. You combine skills, passive gear, points and preparations to shape something truly powerful and uniquely yours. This is your path, your power, your legacy. And we are building a solo character to avenge the death of their family and friends. Following these principles, and like you can see, I'm a wood elf. Raggy is a doctor of the forest, and she is a warden. That is because she defends her family and forest like it's the only thing that matters. About that, I have a roleplay of choosing, which is using double bow, although this might change in the future, and because of the double bow, I'm using 64 points of stamina. Talking about skills, I'm using Lethal Arrow and Acid Spray as my spammables, 1 for single target and 1 for AoE. Also using Subterranean Assault and 2 Invocations of the Daedric Lines, because I wanted to try the pets, and on my back bar, the passives, I have to maintain the summons, one of those used for healing, which is my main healing skill, now that I've lost the chance of using Winter's Embrace, and using several different AoEs, also relying on Bull Neck, because I need some kind of buff in order to make a little bit more damage. But as you've seen, my parse is around 30k, so it's not that huge right now. But before we talk about gear, before mythics, sets, or monster pieces, there's something even more important: the foundation of your character's power. You. Your reflexes, your awareness, your skills as a player. And in ESO, the first skill every solo adventurer must learn is something called light attack weaving. Here's how it works. Every time you cast a skill, there's a small window, a moment where you can squeeze in a light attack, just before or after it. That single extra strike might not seem like much, but when you weave properly, you do this every second of the fight. It becomes light skill, or even with your weapon. Attack, light attack, light attack. This is some rhythm, like a dance. Now, here's what happens when you don't weave. The damage is flat, you lose 30 or even 40% of it. Just not only because you are not weaving, but because you are not using your resources the best possible way. Because you are superposing your skills. And that means you are consuming more mana or stamina than you need to. Now, watch what happens when you weave correctly. Not only your damage increases, but your resources are better sustained. Each light attack becomes part of a dance. Your skills hit harder, your ultimate charges faster, and your enemy falls quicker. And this is just the beginning, because from now on, Raggy gon' just fight Tamriel. She'll start to master it. Thus, doing weaving. After studying all these different things about builds and how to properly play my character, I've been trying to do bosses with weaving and with no weaving, and it really matters a lot, because every single time I've tried to do a boss without weaving, I've got out of stamina super quickly, and then I had to trust in trying to use my potions or doing something else, but I couldn't sustain myself, and I've even been close to die. I know my build right now is not the best, and it's one of the objectives of this series to get a better build in order to surpass myself, but right now I just want to improve my weaving, and I know that I can do that in this boss, because it's easy to kill. So I'm going to keep trying to kill it weaving while doing it, and I'll let you know if it's really a huge difference. Well, I guess you'll know anyways, because if it's a difference, it will be on the video. So, I've been trying to weave alone and doing a lot of different things, and it's been quite hard because there's the skills which give you confirmation, like my main spammable arrow, and I really know that it's easy to weave that, because every single time I can see or feel this second arrow, but there's a 1 second GCD, global cooldown in ISO, so every single skill has that global cooldown, and you need to know when to weave between those skills, but not every single skill of the game lets you know as well as this arrow. For example, this scatter shot doesn't really help you in anything, because you can spam it. But if you do that, you will be breaking the GCD, and breaking the GCD means expending a lot of resources, losing your times, etc. So, I found this little thing that helped me a lot. It's called Global Cooldown Metronome, and it's just a yellow bar which tells you how much time has to pass until your next skill, and even it has a red mark in the middle that is the time when you have to exactly click your light attack in order to properly weave. So I've been using this a lot, and you can see in this boss try, it's fucking huge. My damage has increased. Well, it's not that it has increased, it's like it's more stable. I can kill bosses rather quickly, and it feels way better. My only problem is that right now, in order to do it properly, I'm with my eyes stuck to this yellow bar, so I sometimes get hit by the boss when I shouldn't be. But, well, I guess I'll keep practicing in order to get better at it. Oh, by the way, this build may change completely with the character, not only because of the gear, also the skills. Because right now, my character is been sipping and studying Daedric things, but this has been bad for Ragi, because she lost her family while doing so. So maybe I will try to make a full build that it's out of Daedric things, in order to avenge myself and my family without using those skills, which mess with my future. So, keep watching the video and you'll find out. So, we've got a bit of a problem with our subclass. Ever since Cult of the Worm came out, I've been obsessed with Daedric summoning. I mean, come on, who doesn't love having 27 pets on the screen? But let's be honest, it's not going to cut it for what's coming. What's the issue? Until I finish leveling this subclass, I can't switch to anything else, and I really need to switch. So, we are gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. First, I'm going to start prepping my trusty companion, Zerithvar, my tank. Now, will I actually need him for the dungeon? Probably not, at least if the build I use is good enough. But hey, better to have a backup than to die trying to be a hero. So, while Zerithvar tanks things for me, in the Overland I'll gain XP, and this XP will permit me to finally level up Daedric summoning. So, let's look at how to build our companion properly while we do these things. Here's the thing about companions in ESO. You can level them doing literally anything. Questing, exploring, picking flowers, you name it. But there's a real target. Having a companion activates the Reach button. Why? Because it's the only way to get companion gear drops. And if one of those drops is purple with a good trait, ching, that's literally how you made millions of gold, and why I have 5 millions in my bank. And I'm not even trying. So yeah, While we level out of Daedric summoning, Therithvar will tag along, not just to help me survive, but also to accidentally fund my entire build. But leveling up is just the beginning. Once a companion hits max level, you still need to level their skill guilds, fighter guilds, mage guilds, and undaunted. And to do that, we'll be doing 3 daily quests, today for 10 days straight, because nothing says vengeance like paperwork and grinding. Here I am, with my pets on Therithvar. As you can see, he's using a greatsword. He's my dealer companion right now, but we've said that we won't use him as a tank, so I might change their skills in order to use provoke, but for that I need to use the equipment I just bought, Companion's Axe and Companion's Shield. Right now he has those 2 items, and he's gonna use them in order to level up this skill line, the 100 and Shield, which is what I want. He's also level 13, so I'm gonna level him up while doing dungeons, quests, etc. And of course the daily quest we've just explained. After tons and tons of reading about Therithvar tank builds, I've decided to go with RDL builds. This one uses every single heavy piece for armor with the bolster trait, and jewels for or necklace space, ring spaces, and our weapons will be with the quicken one. Once I've decided the build, I've started looking for the gear. I'd love to use purple as I've already said, but this is truly expensive. I'm talking about what you are seeing on the screen. 700k, 800k, and even more for only a piece. And it's like a 20% stats difference with the blue one. But the blue gear for our companions is like super cheap in comparison. It's like 5k instead of 700. I mean, that's almost like a 3% of the actual price of a purple one. So we are gonna equip our Therithvar with full blue gear with the decent traits that we need, and that's gonna be our full Therithvar build. Like you've seen, the shopping spree is done, and we have everything we need to equip our little Khajiit tank to the max, so let's fit it out. Why? I can't talk to Therithvar. All good now. After a tiny little voyage to Void, everything seems right. And you lot, you're ready to get your new equipment. So, he's now completely bolstered in the armor and quickened in weapons and jewelry. So our Therithvar is fucking ready to kill it all and tank as much as we want. So let's test it out. Well, as I hope you grew accustomed, we are here again in Mother of Suns in Alikar, and I'm gonna try to beat it now with the weaving we've learned before and Therithvar. Let's test it up. So it's true that some people came, but Zerith tanked him. I mean, he did the job. Provoke is working, he didn't lose that much life or HP or anything, and I could weave a lot. So I think you're ready to go for harsher things. We've come a long way. From the start, we had no build, now we have basic gear. We also have learned weaving, and have combat metronome that can help us whenever we change our skills or build, and we even have a companion that can help us in a lot of different ways. For example, tanking some different dungeons and letting us do tests in different world bosses in order to see if our damage is better or not. Because I could do that on a parse dummy and that would be great, but the best tests, in my opinion, are those that you make in a real fight. So now we can do that. And it's a good way in order to prepare ourselves for the next challenges. And that means that if we are gonna change our build, we are gonna have to do trials, we are gonna have to do a lot of veteran dungeons, and that's everything we are gonna do from now on. So, to finish this video and to test our skills, we are gonna do some dungeons, and let's see if we can do it solo. Looking at the different normal dungeons list, there's a lot that come before City of Ash, the one that is our objective. But those are all from the base game, so their difficulty is somewhat similar. And I have an idea. City of Ash 1 is the one we are gonna conquer in solo mode, veteran, hard mode, etc. So, to roundabout this, why don't we try to do City of Ash 2 alone? That would be great, because it's our forest in its real state. Green, beautiful, and lively. So, let's do that one. Well, here we are. Zed is with me. He's using the gear with both for him and also the skills we've decided. We are not using the second skill of one-handed shield because it's on guard and we need to level up quite a bit in order to use it, but we'll manage. I hope for the next chapter we have it. But we are also ready because I've bought some things, like a little bit of food. I've bought some bewitched cigars. They are quite expensive and really good. I don't think I need them right now, so I bought lava food, which is great because it's a lot of stamina and max recovery for 2 hours. And I do also have some essence of stamina, which I feel like will be the most used item on this run. But let's check it out. Well, this first pull went great. I didn't really feel like I could solo a normal dungeon that easy, but let's keep doing it. Oh fuck. I can definitely kill this, but I should improve a lot on dodging. a lot. But the Wraith was really useful this time because it could tank the main boss while I focus on the ads, and also my damage was way better. Right now it's like 30k on the parser, but it's double what I did in the first boss. I think it's because of the mouse, and I'm doing a lot of AoE damage, which increases a lot my numbers, but I don't know. You know what, guys? I'm gonna keep practicing this. I'm gonna keep doing things back there, and I'm gonna think of a different build in order to increase my damage and match sustain and be better. And I'll see you in the next chapter in order to fight the new challenges we're gonna have to fight with her. See ya!